not a bad view here, is it? Okay, here goes the pilgrimage, my chimera to Dan Murphy's. One of many trips that I'll be taking in the next few months. I'm already starting to feel the pinch about travel. I'm thinking about my next trip to Vietnam. It's pathetic. I just got back and I'm starting to think about it. I'm thinking maybe July as a possibility. That could be a good time, and I might take advantage of the last opportunity to get a 90-day visa there. It's cutting out on the 1st of July, so if I arrange my 30-day visa prior to that, hopefully I might be able to say do a 60-day stint back there. See how we go. It's a possibility, we'll see. Alright, Wednesday the 4th of March. Got a bit of a walk ahead of me. I've been doing a bit of research into sound systems and also into TVs. So there's a few in the market at the moment I'm interested in. It looks like I'll be going for a 65 inch TV. That seems to be the sweet spot at the moment, and there's 3 models that I'm looking at, and it appears as if it's really between well, there's a Panasonic, a Samsung, and a Hisense. The Hisense has the advantage, so that's the one manufactured in China, I think, and that one is actually got a 3-year warranty. The other 2 only have 1-year warranties, and it's the cheapest as well. So, and it gets pretty high rating. So, it's looking okay. I have actually seen one of those screens in a rental here, and it was a reasonably good image. So, I might give it a go. So, you know what? It's a couple $100 cheaper than the more expensive model, and the really expensive model's about, I think it's about $400 more. So, but yeah, I think it's time I went and got myself a big screen again, because I do miss having the big plasma back in my flat in Melbourne. That was, I think, about 58 inches. So this will actually be even bigger, and I was pretty happy with that. And I've got to admit, I enjoyed having it in my room in Saigon. It was a smaller screen, but it was a decent size, probably about 46 inches, something like that. My monitor's about 30, and that's what I use at the moment, so it'd be an improvement. Plus it'd have better sound as well. So I think I'll take the plunge, and I also want to get a sound system. There's a decent looking Panasonic one, 300 watts per speaker, quite a bit of grunt. So that'd be nice to have, just because I do find it sometimes hard to hear movies and what have you. So I could do with a better sound system for sure. I'm just using this because I bought that dodgy mini hi-fi through the Dick Smith online, and I was never able to. It didn't cost me much, but it was a total waste of money. There's some major manufacturing fault with it, and it keeps cutting out. So I'm going to buy myself another unit. The other units cost about 240, about 250. So it's not too bad. I'm thinking if I could buy both of them at Harvey Norman, they're both reasonably priced at Harvey Norman. I might be able to get them delivered together rather than me having to lug the mini hi-fi system around the streets. It's quite warm at the moment. I don't feel particularly inclined to be lugging a bulky sound system while I'm walking around the sun. Not my favourite way of getting around. There's a lot of traffic here. I suppose it's just before 9, so there's a few people going to work. I don't usually get out this early, but I've got an appointment I've got to go to. Other news I got today, or last night to be more specific, was from Johan, and there's been more of a clarification of the Vietnam immigration policy. It's not quite as draconian as it looked, in that now you will be able to still get a 90-day visa to Vietnam, but you just have to go report into immigration every 30 days. They're concerned that people are working on the sly and things like that. Of course, you have to then pay to have an extension, so they do get more money out of you. Big surprise there. About $230,000, I think it is. So that's, what would that be about? Well, it's not $20, it's a little less than $20. So it's a hell of a lot cheaper than having to do a visa run and less inconvenient. Just got to front up to the immigration office and hopefully not have to wait too long to be processed. So that's good news, I guess, and it makes it viable to stay there for at least, say, well, might make it 60 days later in the year. We'll see how we go, but I'm tentatively looking. It depends on Corona as well. There's a lot of things up in the air at the moment. If Corona finally settles down in the next month or so, then travel will be an issue, be an option again. But if it's not, well, I don't feel inclined to be travelling around the world while we've got a pandemic on our doorstep. I don't like that. But look, it shouldn't come to that. That would be real worst case scenario. I think that that hopefully things will be handled a bit better. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. But it is good news from Vietnam. I don't know why they couldn't have clarified this earlier. Maybe the information leaked and they didn't want any information out and it was incomplete. I don't know, but it was particularly unhelpful to create that uncertainty amongst people there. Johan himself, he's going to get a business visa for 1 year. He doesn't want to have to travel when they want at all. He just wants to be able to have flexibility, so he's going to do it that way apparently. So looks like he's made a commitment to staying in Vietnam, which is good because I'm certainly happy to go back there, and it looks as though I might be able to do it in about 3 months. We'll see how it goes. That's my plan at the moment, but I do have a few things I need to get done beforehand. It won't be as long a trip as last time, but it'll still be nice to have a break. I like travel. I mean, I like getting out of my comfort zone, and I think I found a pretty good place in District 7 too. A nice looking hotel called Fidel, and they give a generous 40% discount on monthly rents, and so that looks quite good. It's got a little cooking facilities in the room as well, and it looks like a nice room, and it cost me about 1,000 Australian a month, which is not bad, really. Not bad when you're travelling. It's a bit more than I'm paying at the place in District 1. It's probably double actually what I'm paying in District 1, or a little around that anyway, but it'll be a lot more luxurious accommodation. It's in District 7, so the air's clean. It's a place you can just wander the streets without any hassles, and it's very easy to get to District 1 anyway. There's a bus that leaves near Crescent Mall, so you know, it's not difficult. So that's a viable option. And back down Lily Creek. It's been a while, been a few months since I've been down here. Well, the shade's appreciated, I'll tell you. Whew, yeah, as you can see, there's been a bit of rain here. It's quite green, and summer can get pretty dry. It can dry out pretty fast here, but summers are generally wet, but they're not always. So, but they've certainly had a hell of a lot of rain in the last month or so. I've been lucky. Since I've come back, I've had none, so it's been pretty dry for me. So perfect timing. Anyway, get this morning walk out of the way, and I'll keep you updated what's happening in sleepy old Cairns. Yeah, I've got to say the heat's getting to me up here. It's been pretty warm the last few days. Last night in particular, I was getting rashes, heat rashes around my neck, and you know, just around the shoulder and the neck area. It's quite unpleasant. I was sweating quite a bit, and I had the fan on fairly high So it's some of the hottest weather I've actually encountered up here. And the room just didn't shed that much heat during the day. And I got insulation, so God knows what it'd be like without that. I don't know, it's not very pleasant. Almost tempted to use aircon because it's just really getting me down a bit. At least I'll go to the mall and get some aircon there. I was hoping to actually buy myself an LCD TV. I might do it tomorrow, and a new sound system. I've been putting that off for some time. I might as well get a few of these things done, but I also need to get my flat into a rentable situation. Today I actually bought tickets for another trip to Vietnam because they've got a sale on at Jetstar. It's a fair way off, it's about 5 months time, but and it's only for a month. So I've got looking at the beginning of August and getting back at the beginning of September, so a little over, maybe about 5 weeks in total. A few days in Bali and most of the time in Vietnam. Advantage of that is I'll just be able to get the visa on arrival. I won't have to do visa on arrival, I should say. I'll get the e-visa, so I'll just walk straight through immigration. So it'll make it a little easier. And I might spend one night there on the way over there, just in case Jetstar delay the flight, as they did on my return flight. Now, if I'd been on that flight, that return flight, if I'd been on that flight coming to Denpasar, I would have actually missed my connection. So it's a bit, probably not a smart move to rely on Jetstar for connections. Give myself the buffer of a day to make a connection, so I'll stay overnight. I think that'd be smarter. So I haven't done the Vietjet flights yet. There's no rush there. They have got some cheap flights, unfortunately not on the days that I want to fly, so I just have to, maybe I should wait till they've got a sale. We'll see, I might roll the dice with that. Like I say, I've got 5 months, there's plenty of time. And of course, Corona's going to affect their business to some extent, so maybe they'll be forced into having a sale as well. So it might be smart to just wait on that. Not that that's a huge part of the actual overall fare anyway, the actual cost of the seat, that's only a partial amount, but every bit helps, I guess. So yeah, I can wait on that. There's no rush. So the plan here is to go to Denpasar, stay overnight, and then get my flight to Saigon the following day. So even if there's a delay, the worst thing case would be that I'd get in later at night rather than earlier. So just a little safer option, really. That's the plan. Just hard to think straight though with this weather. It is not pleasant. It's just unrelenting. So I'm going to get my medication now, because even though I've only heard about toilet paper going off the shelves, for some unknown reason toilet paper seems to be in incredible demand at the moment because of coronavirus. I must think it creates a mega diarrhea or something. And not that hardly anyone's got it in the country anyway. I mean, it's just ridiculous, but just panic buying's just set in. It's just crazy. So there was toilet paper on the weekend when I first got here last weekend. So I don't know, we'll see. And that's pretty typical of what's happening at Coles at the moment. People are pulling bulk toilet paper packs off the shelves. It's virtually empty, that section now. Look at this. This guy is fairly typical of the shoppers today. It is bizarre. I don't know what the hell's going through the psyche of Australia at the moment. I mean, maybe it's the heat up here that's turning us crazy, but it's happening all throughout Australia. Absolutely bizarre. This country is going mad. So it'll be good when I get back to the sanity of Southeast Asia in 5 months. Oh dear. Every other item seemed to be in reasonable stock. It was just toilet paper seems to be the latest desirable product. It's just absolutely incredible. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever.
And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.